friends. Is it almost time for Halloween? Because if it's not, it should be. Alright, today we are going to be doing a set of Halloween nails using a Scatter Hollow black gel polish and Maniology stamping plates, their ice cube stamper, and white polish. This is super easy to do. It does not take a long time at the salon, which is fabulous because your client can have amazing nails for Halloween and you can make some extra money without having to do a whole lot of extra work. You can see I pulled a piece of one of the skeleton stamps from the stamping plate, and I'm just cleaning up around the edges because I only want that one little guy. He's going to be our trick-or-treater in his little skeleton costume. We are completely doing this in black and white. There's very little color. There's only going to be a little bit of reverse stamping on the very last stamp. So I pulled that, and I'm going to pull a ghost from this corner over here. This is one of those fun plates that has a lot of different pieces that you can use, either together or singly. And we're going to give a little boo ghosty up in the top corner. This is the pinky nail, so I don't want to keep it too busy. I like pinky nails generally to be either a simpler design or a full coverage kind of thing where it, has something that's just repeated throughout. Our second nail is going to be a set of white bats on a black background, obviously. It looks really stunning, I must say. We're going to be doing some of these nails at the end in matte and some of them in in gloss. And the reason we're going to do some of them matte and some of them in gloss is because I want you to be able to see the difference. They both look amazing. Oh yes, I'm going to do a fun thing now and drop this nail. It did not want to stick on the little nail holder to save its life. So if this ever happens to you and then you end up with paint on it because you have paint on your finger like I do, a little bit of alcohol on a swab will take it off. The thing is because I let that stamp sit for a while, I had to stamp it very quickly once I hit that nail with alcohol because otherwise the stamp would not have stuck to it, just because I would have been taking off that tacky layer, that inhibition layer that is on gel polish that helps the stamps to stick. This is another trick if this happens to you with a stamper where the nail is longer than the stamp is. Usually any good stamping plate has a repeated pattern in a way that allows you to pick up and leave off where you were last. So you can see that's exactly what I did as I picked up from the bottom and added one more bat. On our third nail, we're going to be using the Nature plate from Maniology. This one has all 4 seasons on it, but it does have one of my favorite tree branches with the ravens in it. I've used this in another video earlier on this season with a cross fade set of nails in matte. So if you haven't seen those yet, go check them out. And don't forget to like and subscribe and share me please with your friends. All right, I'm going to stamp this starting in the corner so it looks like the tree branch is just coming up into the side. And then I'm going to just add in a little branch at the top so it looks like they're sitting in a twilight sky. Very nice. Okay, you can see these are super fast, super easy. They're not going to take you long at the salon, which is excellent for those of us that are trying to balance giving our clients fabulous nails and still keeping within their budget and also making a little extra money for ourselves as well. The next one we're going to tackle is those boo ghosties that are on your top right of the screen. These are a lot of fun because they're just an outline, but when you put them on the black background, they look amazing. And you could actually reverse stamp these by coloring them in if you wanted to make them like, I don't know, purple or gray or some other color. You could absolutely do that. I did not. I just left them as a kind of almost like silhouette, an outline. Coloring book style, I guess, would be the way to put that. I'll show you that in 1 second. I'm just cleaning up the ice cube a little bit. I do love this ice cube stamper. It kind of is a great size for many things. This is another one where we're going to have to touch up, because you can see our ghost ended up at the top there without a face. I'm going to give him a face because I still have a little bit left. And then I'm going to redo the stamp again, lining up that if you look at the bottom of this stamper actually lines up with the top, which is really handy in continuing your design. So once again, if you have a good stamping plate, typically this is what they do, which is phenomenal. So I'm going to tap that up to the top, and that is going to finish off our design and fill in those spots that were not quite complete. For the last nail, that's where we're going to do the reverse stamping. The reverse stamping is we're going to use that top corner of the left with the skeletons and the bats and the pumpkins. We're going to be using a green and an orange with the white outline. So think of it like a coloring book. The white is the outline, or the white is the, like the coloring book parts. And we're going to fill in the eyes and the background of the pumpkin, so that when we flip it over, you're just going to see a little hint of color. This was kind of an experiment on my part, but it came out phenomenal. And I actually had a couple of clients already go, oh, I need to have those. I so need those for Halloween. And I was like, okay, done deal. I did bring this to the salon already. I did a whole set of, a whole bunch of work in the last couple of days, and I'm trying to get them all edited now. So hopefully you're enjoying all of the fun I have created. I plan to do some more in the next couple of weeks, and then we'll be heading over to Christmas before you know it, which is kind of crazy for me to even talk about in September, but it's reality. I try to get the seasons done before the season actually happens, because it's no good to you if you're seeing it after or during the season, because you're already working on clients that need these things. So anyway, if you're trying to do this at home on yourself, it's also a pretty easy one to do on your own by yourself at home. It didn't require a whole lot of effort on my part. I do need to let this dry for a minute, so you're going to watch me. Oh, excuse me. You're going to watch me wave my hand all around. We're going to line it up. And then I will have to add to this one as well, because these nails were a little bit longer than some of the other nails I use typically. Don't worry about if you're stamping like this and you get some on your client, don't worry about it. They have these fabulous little makeup applicator Q-tips, which have points on them and are a great way to clean that up with a little alcohol, or look at me throwing things around. Alcohol, or even a nail polish remover, and you can just go around the outside of the nail afterwards and clean up anything that might be left behind. I did decide, I think I mentioned this a second ago, to do these both in matte and in gloss as well. So a couple of them are going to be matte at the end, and a couple of them are going to be glossy. And the reason that I did that was because I wanted to show you that you can actually use, we oftentimes don't think about using a sparkly glittery polish in a matte top coat, but when you do that, it actually doesn't get rid of the glitter. It does dull it down a little bit, but it gives it this really cool effect. And then a couple of them I wanted to do sparkly, like the ravens in the tree, because I wanted it to look like, the stars in the sky at night was kind of the effect I was going for. So here we go. Stamping that bottom section. Then we're going to be top coating, and you know me, I won't bore you with all of the top coating. We're going to just show you a couple because I want you to see them all together. And then we will be curing those for 60 seconds, and you'll get to see the final product. So when we go to the final picture, just take a minute and check out the differences. You can also pause the video, obviously, if you want to see a little more detail, the difference between the matte and the gloss polish. I hope you enjoyed this video. I apologize I'm not a little more enthusiastic. It's a little late at night and I'm done editing for the day. So enjoy these. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.